everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So today we're coming to you guys with a video on love and basically like looking for love in kind of all the wrong places at times. We know that, with love, when it comes to love, it's such a big topic, right? Everyone's looking for love, right? Everyone wants to be heard, everyone wants to be seen, everyone wants to be loved. And so sometimes when we can't find the love that we're desiring, we often just, go off looking everywhere else when there's only really one place that we're supposed to find pure and true love.
Obviously, we're not going to go over everything, like all the wrong places people can look for love, but we're just going to pick a few that we've experienced through people's testimony and through ourselves as well. We hope that the little that we do share, you can get something out of it that will help you.
And when we really think about it, when it comes down to it, love is something that you first experienced kind of at home, or you're meant to experience at home, right? So obviously, when we're born into this world, we're born into the hands of our mom and dad, right? That's not always the case for everyone as well. Obviously, you expect, love from your family, you expect love from your friends, you expect love from extended family as well.
Yeah.
So people who are part of your family that might not be immediately your family. Most of the time, that's the case, right? You receive that love. But it's not always the case as well, because, like, for example, I was saying, some kids are born into a family of adoption. Some kids are surrogate kids. And there's all sorts of situations, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you want to receive that love, right? And it's not like, not everybody receives the love as they kind of desire to receive it. And so, like, I guess in your experience or like things you've seen, what are some cases, or situations where kind of people go looking for love when they don't get that love?
Like you were pointing out before, it starts with people being born into families, basically. Like, I have friends that either their mom or their dad is not around, or both of their families are not around, and they were basically, they had to raise themselves, basically. So that love from that parent love, they didn't get that. So they were looking for it from basically anyone. And it goes down to, even if they meet the older person that treats them wrong, but they're that father or that mother figure, they'll be like, oh, I'm still getting that love. Even though if it's the wrong love, because at the end of the day, they don't know what a mother or a father love is meant to feel like. But as long as they're getting a love from an older person or from whatever, they feel like, oh, that's the love that I was lacking from when I was young.
Definitely.
And so also from other areas as well, whereby like, from home, when your own family, your own mom and your own dad are treating you so wrong that you don't understand what love truly is, like a mother and a father love truly is. So you kind of rebel. You go in an area where you're searching for that love, or you rebel in a way of, oh, I don't want to be loved like this. I don't want my, like, for example, when you grow up later on, you have your own kids. You're like, I don't want to raise my kids up like this. But in that sense as well, like love, you have to understand there's tough and there's gentle love. Your parents would have obviously been giving you the harshest, the hardest love that they can, but they didn't give you the gentle. So when you grow up and you start feeding your kids the gentle love because of what your parents brought you through, you get to an area that your kids they will rebel as well because they don't know the gentle love. They don't know the tough love. You'll be so soft that it gets to a level that they disrespect you, they do this, they do that, because you gave them such gentle love, which is great, but you need a mixture of both. So parents being around, parents not being around, or parents even being there but not doing the role properly and stuff like that, all of that plays a big part in kids getting out of line and looking for love of a parent in the wrong places.
Definitely. And I think, as you grow up, like, let's say, for example, you grow up, in a household that you didn't receive as much love as you desired, or kind of like, I guess, the love that you needed, and you never expressed it to your parents or whatever. I know, like, a lot of teenagers, you know, as they grow up and they're getting older and they're looking, you know, for love elsewhere, like, you know, looking for relationships, all that kind of stuff. They now start to branch off, and when you're now looking for your partner, you think, okay, this is what I want in my partner. And I think sometimes the lines are blurred. Like, you could grow up in a very toxic, like, family background, and then therefore when you now go out into looking for a partner, you know, you might start thinking, okay, like, this is all I know, so this is what I'm going to also look for, I guess, like, in a partner. And so that's why sometimes, you know, you get into abusive relationships, relationships with people who you know aren't treating you well, but yet you still just, like, you just deal with it because you think, oh, well, this is what I know and this is what I grew up with. But it's like, is it really? Does it even make you feel like yourself? Does it make you feel alive? Are you happy? Are you even, like, do you even want to be in it? Do you know what I mean? And then I think some people just kind of just stick with it, and obviously, you know, it's toxic, but you say, like, yeah, whatever, like, it is what it is what I know kind of situation, you know? And obviously we know that, like, clearly it's not right.
But the thing is, when they're in it, they don't see it.
Yeah.
Someone that's not in it will see it. And also on that, like I was gonna say before, with looking for love in the wrong places as well. I had friends and stuff like that. It's not necessarily looking, the way that I'm gonna put it, it's not looking for love in the wrong places. It's like going with the wrong idea sometimes even going with the wrong idea in the right places.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, for example, like a person that is looking for a wife or a girlfriend, they will go to church. They'll be like, oh, I'll find the right person there, all of that. But the same way that you're thinking, the same way someone else is thinking, whatever, if it's a girl or a guy, they're thinking the same way. And you'll both go and meet each other there with the wrong idea. Not going for God, not going for anything, but you're going to find someone. You know, so, like, looking for love can take you to the right places, but with the wrong motives at the same time.
So I think even like what you just mentioned there about the church thing, like, I feel like sometimes people think, oh, I'm gonna go into the church and I'm gonna go find someone that is, you know, like correct, someone that is good. But to be honest, everyone that goes to church all still have flaws. Like when we all go there, we're not going there because we're perfect, or we're going there because we want to be perfected by God, you know? And so, like, you can go there, but it doesn't mean you're going to find the most perfect person. You're going to find the same people that are also not in the church in there, right? So when you're going there, you're not going with that mentality. You shouldn't even be going for that. You should be going for God, right? So
I was going to say something on that. I'm not trying to push it. We're not trying to push it to always God, God, God. But, like, a church is like a rehab center. Where if you don't go to a rehab center to find someone that is like, that doesn't do drugs or anything like that. Obviously, everyone there most likely did drugs some time or is still doing drugs. So when you go to church, you're there to kind of receive Christ and work on yourself. Like, a church is where you build yourself and then go and share with people with the word of God. You don't come there and think you're going to find someone perfect. Just when you come to church or when you go to an event, have the right mindset. Love is going to come your way regardless. So if you go there for the wrong reason, the enemy will give you that reason just to pull you out of that. So
and so back to other places where I feel like sometimes people look for love. There are times when, let's say for example, in a family, obviously we're talking about before, when people haven't experienced that love and that care and that affection that they need, they can go looking for it in, you know, their kids sometimes, their spouses as well, like family-wise. I've seen situations where it's like, because they haven't received that love from, like, you know, their family, like, I mean their mom and dad, their immediate parents, now when they have their own kids, they think, okay, you know what, like, surely my kids will show me the love that I need. And obviously, like with kids, guys, kids give you that unconditional love. Kids, like, they show you that unconditional love. But then, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna now fill your void that is there in your heart that you're needing to be filled, you know? Because sometimes, guys, our world is cruel. Like, honestly, like, we don't always receive the love that we need from all the people that we expect that love from, you know? And so you shouldn't be expecting it from your kids because they're not always going to. Even your own spouse, he might not love you like exactly like how you're desiring. And the same, as a woman, like I might not love Ben like how he's desiring for me to love him, because I might not understand how to do that yet. Because we're so complex, we're so complicated that there are areas that we need to work on to be able to love the other individual, and God will love the other individual, and so really like understanding that we can go looking, and don't get me wrong, there are times when people will show you that full unconditional love, and you won't even understand it, and you'll be like, wow, like, so this is what real love feels like. And that is supposed to be, I guess, like a depiction of the love of God that He has for His people towards others, right? But yeah, sorry, what do you think?
No, that was really good. Like, it opened my mind on something I was going to say as well. Like, with that, I had some ladies, for example, they're not getting love from their spouse. So they'll be like, oh, if I have a child, the child will be mine. They'll give me the love, they'll give me the comfort. And then the thing is, it's like a drug. That kid get older and kind of forget about them, and then they get another child. And then the kid get older, and even at their 40s or even old age, they're like, oh, I feel lonely, I feel this. They want another child. Not because they want a child, but because they want that love. They want that comfort. They want someone to love them like the way a child would, And then also, another scenario is, see, this comes out a lot. Sorry if someone finds this offensive, but, where lesbian and gays, from my perspective, where it comes from is searching for love. When a child is born, like a boy and a girl, like let's say a girl is born first, and then they're growing up, their parents love them and all of that. But all of a sudden, a little boy was born, and their parents completely forget about her and start loving on the little one. Regardless what she wants, they push her away, and then they continue to love on that little one. In her mind now, a lot of things will be going through her head, and it'll be like, oh, maybe if I act like a boy, maybe if I do this and that, I'll get my parents' attention, I'll get their love. And in their head it click, maybe if I'm a boy, my parents will love me. And when they come out and be a boy, their parents all of a sudden, I don't want my kid to feel bad. And they start giving them approval, so then they feel like, oh yeah, it's all good. The same with a boy as well. If it was a girl that was born first, the same way, the kids start looking for love, but in the wrong place because they feel like they're not getting that love, All of that plays a big part in our life, and sometimes we don't know, and before we know it, it's too late, and it becomes like a norm. We don't know how to change, we don't know how to get out of it, because it's something that we've known from since we were a kid, and then later on it's hard to get out of it, so
so one last one that I want to mention as well. I think we can also look for love in like things. So like, for example, sometimes like money is a big one, right? In the word it says that, the love of money is the root of all evil, right? The love of money. So sometimes the things that we love, like some people, their work is their first love, really. Their work is their first love, because why? Like, taking a rest now becomes, I don't have time for rest. I need to work. Because money is like now the master. Money is like the most important thing that they need in their lives. So then it takes over everything else. But it's like, okay, you're working so much, but are you even happy in life? Are you enjoying your life? This life that you've been given to live, are you using it to the fullest? So that, we're gonna get old one day. We're gonna get to a stage where we're not able to even work anymore. And then, it's just all the stages of life. We pass away, and then what have we done with our life? Have you used your whole life to just work and not even enjoy it as you went, So what are the consequences of like looking for love in like all the wrong places?
Obviously, like I said before, I've already said some of it, like child becoming lesbian or gay because they were looking for love from their parents. Another one that we could have said is like kids hanging with the wrong crowd because they didn't feel love at home, or they don't feel loved by their siblings. So then they become gang members or jail or stuff like that, or even getting killed because, or for example, like A bad one might be suicidal thoughts, because they didn't feel love so much and they feel like maybe if I just end it, I might be better off that way.
Yeah. So I think some of the ones that I was thinking about was kind of like when you try to look for love in the wrong places, obviously you can get hurt. And like when we go to the whole, let's say when you're like looking for a relationship and you know that the person is obviously not good for you, but you're still going there, and the person has even treated you bad, has given you reasons as to why you probably shouldn't be with them. All the red flags are there, but you're still there. Like, no, I still love the person. I still love the person, but yeah. And then I guess other ones would be like when it comes to like with the whole when you grow up with your parents and them not showing you that love. When you're now looking for all the love that you're needing from other people like friends, family, or like children, all that kind of thing, and they're not showing you that love. Now you start thinking, oh my goodness, like what do I even do with myself? Kind of like what Ben was saying.
Yeah.
Or like I'm not even receiving the love. No one even cares about me. Then you obviously start having like it can lead to like that depression, anxiety, that mental health pathway where you take it the wrong way and you now just beat yourself up and can become like Ben was saying, like suicidal, all those kind of stuff, because you think, oh my god, no one cares about me, no one loves me. But is that really the case? Like it's not always the case, when we really look down to it, like there is someone out there that does love you and care about you. But I feel like sometimes we have to shift the focus from me as well. Like don't get me wrong, there are situations whereby clearly like you definitely obviously are not receiving that love and that care that you're needing. But then there's always someone out there that does love you and care about you, if only you knew,
Yeah. And one I want to add is time. Looking for love in the wrong places. Before you know, you'll spend 6-7 years with someone that is wasting your time. And then when you leave them, you have to start all over again. That's 6-7 years that you wasted. So sometimes, if don't get me wrong, we all go through this. If you're looking for love in the wrong place, if you realize, the moment that you realize, step out of it. Because if you don't, it's going to go on and on. Before you know, you're wasted so much time. So time, you'll never get it back. So just, that's a consequence as well.
All right. And then, so I guess last question would be, so like, where are we supposed to find like that pure, like true love that, we're all desiring? Because at the end of the day, we have that void and we have that emptiness when we don't have, this specific love, because we're all looking for it, we're yearning for it, but really like, a lot of us don't depend on it.
Yeah.
We're kind of really mainly depending on the outside love, like the worldly love that everybody gives.
Yeah.
And for example, like I said, from our friendships, from our extended family, from our kids, but then it's like our spouses, and we're not like always receiving it. There are times when family members, friends, they fail us and they're not there for us fully. So it's like there has to be something more. That
The thing is, I think we all know the answer that we're going towards, and we've already said a few times in the whole conversation. The only person that can love you completely is God Himself. He's the one that created you. He's the one that knows everything about you. And one thing I wanted to add as well is, even you can't love yourself like the way God can. Even you yourself, you can do everything that you think you want, but that's not enough to what God has for you. He can give you the complete love that agape love is. Agape means unconditional. He can give you the love that it doesn't matter what you do, He still loves you the same. Yes, God gets angry, but He never stops loving you. His love doesn't change at the end of the day. And His love is so complete that He gives you the gentle, the tough, and every single, all the love that you're thinking that, like even the worldly love that we're thinking about, He gives you all of that involved in as well. And all of it, you needed to be who you were made to be. So,
and when I think about it sometimes, when I really like, sometimes that responsibility of like, making sure that I'm loving others and loving myself and loving, my family, all of that, like it can be like a bit of a burden, to be honest, because it's like, you're too busy worrying about yourself, and you actually forget how to actually even be there for people. And I feel like that's why it has to be God that like fully loves us and takes care of us completely, because you know how much of a burden it is, like constantly always being there for everyone. Imagine all your family members. Like sometimes there are times when I'm like, oh my goodness, like I forgot to get mom like a Mother's Day gift. I forgot to, and it's like, how could you forget? Like that's so important, you know. Like there are things that there are people in your life that you know are very important. You really need to be there for them. And there are times when you don't, you fall short, you know, you fall short. And I know for sure that like God never falls short. God's always there for us, and He makes sure that we are loved, you know. There's a verse that says that God is love, you know. He is love in itself. And at the end of the day, once we come to know that we need that love and that no other love can ever fill the void that we have in our hearts, then we will understand fully that, oh my goodness, like in this world, if I have nothing, as long as I have God, I'm good. You know, I'm good, and I will be satisfied. I will be okay, even if no one likes me, if no one loves me. You know, even if my spouse is not showing me the love that I desire, if my kids, if my, you know, my friends, the people that I care about the most aren't. As long as God loves me, you know, I'm good. I'm gonna be okay. I will see the next day, and I'll be happy, and I'll live a joyful life. You know, so really, like I guess making sure that we're looking at not just the people around us, looking for love in just everything else around us, but knowing that the first and most important love that we ever need and that will ever only fill our void is the love that God has for us.
Definitely. All of that, what you just said is a testimony, because I can vouch that there's a lot of people out there that have been like, yep, I've been through that and God did this. Yes, I've been through that and God did this. So when you get that love of God inside your heart, that you feel complete, it's not that you start seeing that your eyes start opening, that you're like, oh, this person does love me. Oh, this person does love me. But when you're blinded by only focusing on yourself, like you said before, you only see me, that you don't even see true love. You don't even understand what true love is. When you get that love of God, like we're saying, all those situations that we were talking about, looking for in the wrong places, you might have been already getting that love, but it's only a glimpse of it, you know, from one person, and then someone else is meant to add something else onto it. But because you're focused on yourself, sometimes you don't get to see the love. You don't get to experience that love. So look for it in God, and you'll be fine.
So yeah, guys, so that's pretty much the end of the video. We hope that you guys enjoyed, and we hope that you guys got something out of it. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you guys think of the videos. And yeah,
go and follow the Instagram.
Heart to Heart with Harriet.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See ya.